Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Mid Pookemaster here with GDL Season 1 Week 6 against Frosted and her Copenhagen Sawsbucks. So, Frosted is a really good coach. I've never got to battle her before. I believe she's like 4-1, 3-2, something along those lines. I can't remember exactly what her record is, but she's really good at Draft League. Really good content creator. Go check her out. Her link will be in the description below with all the other GDL coaches. And yeah, so as always, we're going to do the team builder before we do the battle. As we always do. You'll see 2 new mons because I don't know if I've recorded it yet. I actually haven't recorded it yet, but the what's it called? A transactions video will be going up soon discussing the new transactions I made. And yeah, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more Draft League content. Don't know why I stuttered so hard there and just kind of paused, but it's all good. So yeah, Frost's team consists of a Corviknight, a Hatterene, a Drapion, an Inteleon, a Quagsire, a Dynamax Jolteon, a Conkeldurr, a Gigalith, a Ninetales, and a Shiftry. So this is a very weird matchup because that Corviknight really walls a majority of my team. And I don't really like that. Because, I have a lot of ways to deal with steel types. And I have a lot of ways, not a lot of ways, but a decent amount of ways to deal with flying types. But I struggle beating both of those because I don't have a good fire type. My ground type's the Gastrodon, which can't really touch the flying portion of that Corviknight. Aegislash can't really do much against it. Hitmonchan is good against the steel type, but it'll take any hit that Hitmonchan wants to go for and just kill it with Brave Bird. Claydol really doesn't have a way to beat it. Clefable is iffy. And Greedent's iffy, so we'll just have to outplay this Corviknight. Hatterene, it has an iffy matchup. It has trouble against Clefable and Aegislash. But then it kind of destroys Goodra with a Life Orb Psyshock. And kind of just puts a dent in my team. Drapion, I can see coming. It's kind of iffy. It does well against Clefable and Aegislash, but between Gastrodon and the rest of my team, it isn't really not the greatest. Inteleon, I have a Goodra right there that kind of stops it. It'll probably just U-turn if it's here. I can see it being a choice scarf for my autonomized Aegislash. So that's kind of scary. Quagsire, I don't really think it's gonna come. I feel like I have a Actually, it probably could because my grass type is Roserade, which has an iffy matchup itself. So, Jolteon, it's another one of those things where Goodra completely walls it, Clefable walls it, Aegislash does good as long as it's not the it's the Ghost Dynamax move. It's also iffy. Gastrodon also walls it. Conkeldurr is crazy scary. It can kind of just 1v1 my entire team. I'm not even gonna lie. Gigalith is kind of iffy. Because it's I have an Aegislash and a Hitmonchan and a Gastrodon and a Claydol. And a Rosary that destroy it. But it kind of does good against everything else. Ninetales with Shiftry is pretty scary. But I feel like I have enough ways to deal with it. So yeah. So first off, you've already seen, I'm bringing a Life Orb Raichu with Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Grass Knot, Focus Blast. I had to bring this thing for the Corviknight because otherwise it just walls anything else I would bring. It's just, this mod puts in a lot of work. Besides the Quagsire and the Gigalith, he has no electric resist or immunities. I mean, he has a Shiftry, but Grass Knot for the Quagsire, and then Grass Knot and Focus Blast for the Gigalith is really good. Then I put Focus Blast also for the Shiftry, just in case. I would run Signal Beam, but since Signal Beam is no longer in the game, I can't run it for that. But Focus Blast is really only there for the Shiftry, because Grass Knot will do enough to the Gigalith. So next, I'm bringing my own Dynamax Mon. Greedent with Seed Bomb, Psychic Fangs, Fire Fang, Body Slam with the Cheek Pouch, Tropical Berry, with enough speed to hit 50 speed, so I'll outspeed very minimum speed Gigalith, which is base 25. So I just want to hit that base 50 speed tier, which doesn't do too much for me, but it doesn't waste a lot of EVs. So, like, if I can outspeed that Gigalith, that's really nice. I could have tried to outspeed Conkeldurr, but then I lose a lot of bulk that I otherwise really like this matchup. With Seed Bomb, Psychic Fangs, Fire Fang, and Body Slam, which I know I already went over the moves, but I can't speak. Seed Bomb's for the Inteleon, Quagsire, and Gigalith. Psychic Fangs is for that Conkeldurr, so like if he goes for a Drain Punch, that Chopper Berry will activate. I don't take as much damage from like a Guts, Flame Orb, Drain Punch. And I'll still get recovery back with Cheek Pouch, I believe, because as long as I eat a berry. Yeah. If this Pokemon eats a berry, it restores 1/3 of its max HP after the berry's effect, so that's really good. Then Fire Fangs for that Corviknight. It'll do like 40%, but then it'll set up the sun and do even more. Then Body Slam for just a good general stab. Then we have a specially defensive Aegislash with a Colbur Berry with Shadow Ball, Flash Cannon, King Shield, Destiny Bond. Shadow Ball plus Flash Cannon does really well against this team. If he's like a physically defensive Corviknight, Shadow Ball does like 40%. So if I can get a Spadef drop, that easily puts in a 2-shot range, and he can't really beat me with it. And Flash Cannon just does well against like Hatterene and such, and the Gigalith. And then King Shield, just so you know, I can go back to being defensive if I want to be. Then Destiny Bond for like if I can't kill like a Gigalith or a Conkeldurr, but I need them gone and they can kill me in one turn, I'll go for the Destiny Bond. Then I'm bringing in Assault Vest Goodra with Draco Meteor, Fire Blast, Sledge Wave, Dragon Pulse. There's 20 speed, just outspeed. Just like anybody trying to outspeed my speed creep, my min speed. He doesn't really have a great switch-in because his Dragon switch-in is Hatterene, but it doesn't want to take 2 Sledge Waves. And I can easily take hits from a non-Slice Shock Hatterene, an Inteleon, a Jolteon, a Ninetales, and especially offensive Shift Tree. I probably should have put Sap Sipper, but I'm not really expecting a Shift Tree. Then defensive Roserade with Giga Drain, Sledge Bomb, Sleep Powder, Spikes. Weird that I'm like no synthesis, but I don't really see a time. I don't really want to let in that Corviknight for free, so I always want to be doing something. And I felt like Sleep Powder is really good this matchup, plus getting some general hazards up with Spikes to damage my opponent for Raichu to do even more work. Then physically defensive Clefable with Wish Protect, Moonblast, Flamethrower. Moonblast is pretty spammable outside of that Corviknight, which I'll always click Flamethrower on that Corviknight. If he's max HP, it'll only do like 35 to 44%, I believe. But that's enough damage for me to feel confident that Clefable is not completely walled by a Corviknight. And if I could get a burn, that makes it even better. So, yeah. And I'll see you all in the battle. And we are back with the battle. So, I'm searching. So we're going to press A here. And let's see what Team Frosted brought. So it looks like we're communicating. This should be a good battle. Man, she even put good luck, have fun. Nobody does that anymore. That makes me not want to beat her, even though I'm going to. So she brings the Drapion, the Conkeldurr, the Inteleon, Gigalith, Corviknight, and the Ninetales. So, okay, so we're back. Frosted just usually said she sometimes has problems, just connecting. So, it's all good. I believe Raichu is like a great lead here because I just get a free Volt Switch on everything. Even the Inteleon, because if I'm Choice Scarf, she doesn't want to stay in on that. So, Raichu is a great lead here. And I have a check for about everything she brought. I'm kind of surprised no Hatterene, but I understand it at the same time. Really, honestly, this is kind of the team I expected. Honestly, saw her being able to bring anything but the Shift Tree. But even Shift Tree could have put in some work if my Dynamax was gone. So, I'm just gonna fix my chair and get adjusted here. And here we go. Good luck, have fun. As I said before, she already wished me good luck. That's a pretty cool photo. So let's see what she leads off with. And we don't see any Jolteons, so it'll only be my Dynamaxmon this match. So she'll be leading Gigalith. That's perfectly fine. Grass Knot, if it's specially defensive, only does, barely does under 50%. So I'm just gonna Volt Switch here. I have no reason not to, I feel, because this is an easy Earthquake. And what do I go into? Honestly, I could go Roserade. Roserade actually eats that, which is surprising. So, yeah. Raichu really puts in the work here. So let's see how much this does. That does around 20%. So that leads me, without looking at the calc, that it's more physically defensive. Now that's pretty specially defensive. So I'm going to go Roserade here. Because I can take any hit here besides like an explosion. Goes for her own Stealth Rocks, which is fine. Those will be up for the match, but only thing that's really going to hurt is Raichu, because that plus the, what's it called? Life Orb Recoil is going to make it very short-lived, and she's leftovers. That actually looked more like 25%. So I'm going to Sleep Powder here, because if she stays in, that's a misplay. But she knows she could live any hit, so it's... So she's going to switch out probably into her Corviknight, so Drapion. That's a pretty nice play there. Hopefully I get the Sleep Powder here. Okay, that's good. Sleep. So is this going to be like Black Sludge? No, they do not have Black Sludge, and they are faster than Roserade. So honestly, what is my Drapion switch? I don't really have one. I could go Greedent. Let me try Greedent into Drapion. He's confirmed sleep this turn. So... I'm just gonna go Greedent here and just go for a raw body slam, because she could be scared of like an Earthquake. If Greedent gets Earthquake, I believe it does. Okay, so that's one turn to sleep, and it does get Earthquake. So it's at 88%. So I'm just calculating something real quick. So I could just click the easy body slam, or I could go for the max strike, which I believe that's what I'm gonna do, because one turn of sleep. Drapion's really good this matchup for beating my, what's it called, my Aegislash and my Clefable, which are two top tier threats. Okay, so she's going to switch out, most likely, I believe, into her, actually her Gigalith, which is perfectly fine with me. I just want to get some damage early on to make this better for my, what's it called, I really can't think. For literally anything else, like Raichu. So this thing's going to want to take damage. It can take damage all at once. So it's at around 80% right now, so it's at around 60. Yeah, so it'll be at around 60, so Seed Bomb might not kill. But, you know, if it can, that'd be awesome. So if she switches in her, what's it called? Corviknight, it'll chew this. Is she going to switch in her Corviknight? She is. That's good. I should have predicted that. Yeah, because Corviknight's not going to take anything from this. Yeah, we'll know if it's lefties. Because... Well, so we're about to see what item this thing is? It's leftovers, okay. And I'm fine with just getting a little bit of chip damage off on this thing. That's all I really need. So does she switch out here? She goes for Roost. That's fine with me. Because I went for the max flare. So we'll see how much this does. That shows she's specially defensive or like just max HP. So she's at around like 48. Okay, like 50. So we just know she's max HP. Fire Fang, I just have to click it here. Because how much does this do in Sun? Just standard Fire Fang does 46 to 55. So if she just goes for an attacking move here, that's good. But she'll probably switch in her, what's it called? Conkeldurr. But that I'll probably just like Psychic Fangs. Or I'll switch in my... She goes Inteleon. That's a pretty fair play. That did a lot. Was that a crit? No. That just did a lot. So it's at around like 75. So that's a pretty easy... She's not going to stay in and take a Seed Bomb in the grassy terrain. But I kind of have to click it. Body Slam does a decent chunk, so that's fine with me. I can see it U-turning. Goes for Reflect. If I could get a para here, that'd be awesome. Is this leftovers or is this still grassy terrain? That's just grassy terrain. So it has Reflect, and that only did 25%. So that makes me believe max HP. I want to go for Seed Bomb here. They can switch out if they want. So I'm not really in the greatest position, but neither is she. A lot of her mons have taken a little bit of chip damage, like Gigalith is getting weakened. Is it getting to the point where my Raichu kind of just comes in and clicks T-Bolt? Like Corviknight's at 50. Okay, so it goes for U-turn this time. So I should have clicked Body Slam again. Or she can easily go into her Corviknight now that can take an easy Fire Fang with the Reflect up. Or she can just go Conkeldurr, because that thing, yeah, goes Conkeldurr. So if I could get a para, that'd be kind of cool. But I went for Seed Bomb, actually. That still did a decent chunk. Is it going to be Flame Orbs? Flame Orb, not Flame Orbs. Flame Orb. So it's at around 80%, but I do have the Psychic Fangs, which I believe destroys screens. Yes, it does. So I kind of want to go for that anyways. So I don't know if like it still does the damage through the screens or if it's like a... I don't know how to describe it. Like if it destroys the screens and then does the damage, or if it does the damage then destroys the screens. So it goes for close combat. But I have the Chople Berry, so hopefully I live. I don't. That was a roll. So Conkeldurr gets the first, like, kill of the match. Conkeldurr kills Greedent with close combat. Okay, so Clefable kind of just comes in and clicks Fire Blast. Not even Fire Blast. How much does Raichu do? Raichu doesn't do enough. How much does Age Slash? I have to go Clefable. And I click Moonblast. Because that's like the perfect range for it. So I'm just gonna click Moonblast. She can switch into anything else. She'll probably go into Ninetales, honestly. But for that, I just switch in Goodra and I just kind of drop a Draco. Or I just click Dragon Pulse. Either or, honestly. So how do I win this game? Aegislash can do a lot of damage. I really don't have that big threat that just kind of wins the game. Because Inteleon I know is not very offensive. Yeah, so if she goes Corviknight, that sucks. Goes Ninetales, which I predicted. But I didn't have anything for it. If I would have been like Calm Mind or like Cosmic Power, that would have been cool there. How much does this do? That did around 25%. Which is extremely weird. So, how many more turns of Reflect? So they have technically one more. I'm going to go for the Protect here to see what they want to go for. If they go for Nasty Plot, that sucks. A lot. But Raichu can do a decent amount still. Raichu can't kill it, but it'll do enough to where it's not a crazy... Oh, they actually switch out. They go Gigalith. Okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. I show that I'm Wish Protect, basically. They just get a little bit of leftovers damage. What did she predict me to switch in there? Into like a Fire Blast. Probably the Goodra. So I know they're not going to click EQ here. There's just no way. I'm going to go Aegislash and click. They might be scared of me being Iron Head. Let me see how much this EQ does. It does not do a lot. They go for Heavy Slam. Okay. 144 to 123. 144 to 123. So that only did 21. So they're not offensive at all. If I'm Iron Head, how much does like a regular Iron Head do? Iron Head, from what I can tell, does a lot. It actually does not. But that's because Reflect's still up, isn't it? Reflect is. So, I'm going to click Flash Cannon here. I just need chip damage on this for my Raichu to win. So they actually switch out into Corviknight. That's perfectly fine. Imagine if I would have predicted with the Shadow Ball there. That did a decent chunk. So they were at 50. So they're now at like 40. So they can't do anything to kill me here. So I'm just going to go for Shadow Ball. And I'm faster. That's not very good, honestly. I would rather be... Would I? That brings them back up a lot. But at the same time, it's like, what do they do to me? They don't really do a lot. So we know they're not Prankster. Not Prankster, Pressure. So what are its other two abilities? It's a Nerve and Mirror Armor. So we know they're Mirror Armor. I just need to get... So I needed that. So like that was pretty good for me. So they're going to be at like 65. So they're gaining HP. But I don't think I can get enough damage off on this thing. So I want to switch in Raichu on another Roost. And then click Volt Switch. Or I could just click Thunderbolt, because I believe that just gets a kill on anything. If they predict and go for like U-turn here or something, that's really unfortunate. Okay, so that's good. So I kind of just click Thunderbolt here because they don't want to waste their... What's it called? They don't want to sack off their Corviknight here when it still puts in this much work. And if you can... On the next move, you'll see that Frosted is running low on time. So if she runs out of time, I win. Which would be kind of... I don't want to win by like timer, even if I'm up. But it's still... Okay, so... They're going to Gigalith, and this is basically going to get sacked off here. So this thing will be around 56. How does... It's not grassy terrain. This thing doesn't die here. I still had grassy terrain up in the calc. Do I go for them predicting they're going to click Heavy Slam? I still have ways to beat the Corviknight with my Goodra. With Fire Blast. This doesn't kill. Do they go for Earthquake or do they go for Heavy Slam? Even though I believe Heavy Slam would still kill. They go for Earthquake. So Gigalith kills Raichu with EQ. So I just go this and click Dragon Pulse? What's it called? Goodra? Goodra has a chance to kill. I could just go... I'm gonna go Aegislash and just click Shadow Ball. Because that'll kill, I believe. That should kill. But I have to Flash Cannon. She could be Nasty Plot Psyshock. What's it called? Ninetales? If she goes Corviknight, that's a good play. I had to hope she would over-predicting her for like Heavy Slam. I should have gone into Rosary because that thing doesn't do much. She predicts and goes Corviknight. So she's at 100%, so we'll see if she's specially defensive or just defensive. I'm just going to click Shadow Ball here, because this is just going to be a stall match. If I could get a Destiny Bond kill with this thing, that'd be pretty cool. If I would have been like autonomized Swords Dance with like Shadow Claw, Iron Head, that would have been kind of cool. What's your substitute? Is this thing like sub bulk up? That looks like, I don't really know how much that is. 35? I know she can't do anything to me, so I'm not just going to let her set up. Honestly, it would have been kind of cool if I would have been like slower than this thing and like ran close combat. How much speed did I put on this thing? I put a decent chunk. I put 108. So I'm going to break this sub here. Go for Brave Bird. Okay. That does a decent chunk. But I might be able to kill with Shadow Ball here. See, this is a roll. But nothing besides Drapion wants to take that. And Drapion's asleep. She could sack off her Gigalith here, which would be a good play. I don't know if I can win this. And I forgot to look at how much time she has. She's using up quite a bit here. I'm trying to think in my head on how I need to play this out. I need to get my Gudra in and just drop a Draco. So she sacks off her Gigalith. Okay. That's really good for me. Aegislash kills Gigalith with Shadow Ball. So it's not a 6-0, which is what I'm happy about. And his Ninetales won't be able to do anything to my Gudra, which I'm happy about. How much does +2 Psyshock do? That does like 50%. And nothing wants to come in and take 2 Dracos, which is good by me. Brings out Inteleon. She has 5 seconds left. Okay, so I'm just going to click Shadow Ball here. That's a misplay. I should have gone into my Gudra. Does Scald kill? It does. That was a misplay. I should have kept that thing around. So she ran out of time. I beat Frosted, which is kind of weird. So I don't know if we're going to continue playing or whatnot. Because I'm down. I don't know if we'll like move to Showdown. So I'll keep you updated. But if this is the end of the video, don't forget to like, subscribe. We might have a win, and I'll see you all next time. So after talking it out, it looks like I will be receiving the win because Frosted went to timer, but I don't know what the differential is going to be yet. If it's like, if I get a 3-0 win, or if I'm going to get basically how many Evermons she has. So it's either I'm going to get like a 3-0, basically like a forfeit win, or I'm going to get like -2 differential because she still had more mons than me. So I don't know how it's going to work. I'll keep you updated in the next battle, hopefully. But also, Chizzy has had to drop out of the league just due to having to move houses and not going to be able to have internet to finish the rest of the season. So everybody that's had him on the schedule gets a forfeit win. So even though I've lost to him, I have a 3-0 win against him. So I'm now like, I believe this is week 5 or week 6. This is week 6, so I'm 2-4. So if I could win my last 2 battles, I have a chance to make playoffs. It's not a good one at all, but it might not even be possible just based off of who battles each other and such. So yeah, so we are actually 2-4 in GDL. So we actually we actually have wins. So we're not gonna go 0-8. Next week we fight either OG Albina or Diet Tight. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to look real quick, because I want you guys to know who I fight, because I'm excited to fight both of those dudes. They're both 2 of my best friends in the community. So let me just pull that up real quick. So this is basically going to be a longer video. So next week I fight Diet Tight, coach of the New Britain Rock Rough. So that'll be a good battle. He just recently beat me for the first time in APA Classic, so hopefully I can not like start trending where I lose to him to where I win. So yeah, so we're, like I said, we're 2-0 in GDL. So yeah, 2-4, not 2-0, 2-4. So don't forget to like, subscribe, check out Frosted, and as I said before, all the other GDL coaches. I can't speak. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.